So that arrow will go and expand itself. After some time, it will fall somewhere. So the karmas also, they do not have a jiva to connect to. Therefore, they also are disintegrated. So this said to be your last birth. Once you know yourself, there is no more need to take birth. There is no need to worry about karma. Why? Because karma spends itself out.
So, what is the best way to become aware? So, I mean, like personally, I am constantly trying to learn everything about myself, not about myself, like the surroundings, being aware,
Yeah.
but how can I make sure that I know everything? Because there's so much knowledge out there, it's not possible to just gain everything to stop the cycle of birth and rebirth.
See, you just need enough to manage your life. If your life is complicated, you require more knowledge. If your life is simple, you require less knowledge. So if you simplify your life, so the knowledge that you have is adequate to manage, right? And you don't have to know everything in the world. You just have to know
No, I'm talking about myself.
about yourself. You just have to know how to manage your relationships, how to manage your work, how to manage your own mind. That much you require to know. So once you know that, that means you are managing your life, and the most important thing is to know yourself as a one who is the unchanging one, as an unchanging witness. I am not affected by the roles. Therefore, the success or failure of the role has nothing to do with me. My role is part of creation. The world is part of creation. So it is creation interacting with creation. So with this knowledge, I tell myself, I don't act, I don't get any results of action. I am beyond action and reaction. So this knowledge makes me comfortable to play my role. In my role, I am the actor, I am receiving the results. Okay, but I am not conditioned by my role because I know it is something that uh, it's my projection. It is not me. My role is a projection. It is not me. Therefore, so the success and failure of the role is relative. It is not absolute. In the absolute sense, I am free from failure. I am free from success. I just am, and that am is always uh, free from, you can say, free from anxiety. What I am is always free from hurt, free from guilt, free from helplessness. So I am always free. This is the reality. In my role, yes, I can get hurt, I can get affected. So, but that is part of the role. So I need enough knowledge to manage my role. Beyond that, I need the knowledge of myself so that I am not conditioned by my role. So this much knowledge I require. One is the knowledge of my uh, day-to-day living. Other is the knowledge of my uh, uh, real self who is free from the day-to-day troubles. So this is called Paravidya and Aparavidya. Paravidya is the knowledge of the absolute self which makes me free from the role. Aparavidya is the knowledge that helps me to manage my role. So I require both.
Now,
Yes, Divya, is it
so that
clear?
No, it's Shalini, I think.
Not clear.
no, but Divya, I think he was asking the explanation he gave to you. He was asking about
Yeah, it
that. So
went
that
over my head. I understood a little bit, but it's, I mean, what my question was, like, I am trying to become aware, but
Yeah.
is there a way to know, like, to a certain, um, that I'm not going to be born again?
Is there a way to be certain?
Like, that I'm going to attain moksha. I mean, I don't
Put it
intend
this.
on going to the heaven, but
Put
just
it this way.
moksha is enough.
Uh, Put it this way. When you no longer have any agenda for your life, when you feel that everything that you wanted to achieve, you have already achieved, there's nothing more. So I can die in peace without having to worry. I did not do this, I could not get that. Okay, so that is the sense of fulfillment that you get. So when you come to that point, when you say, now whatever happens is I accept, there is nothing that I want to change. I uh, accept my life, I accept this world totally. When there is total acceptance, there is total freedom. When you come to that point, the sense of I have nothing more to ask for. If God were to come and say, please ask me what you want. So when you say, I have nothing more, so whatever is, so I accept. When you come to that point, I would say there is no more need for a further birth. I think that much you can verify. There's no need for
Okay,
a
I
further.
get it now.
Yeah.
So it's like, once my purpose, like whatever, it's more like no attachments left
Mhm.
towards anything. So I
Ah,
am content with what I am. I am content with this life. I
exactly.
don't have regrets. And if I do have regrets, I have done the, what is it called? To make amends. I have made
Correct.
amends for my
Correct.
regrets. Right?
Uh, Very true. Very true. What you said, Divya. Uh, the only thing is there is a relative fulfillment and there is an absolute fulfillment. A relative fulfillment is when you have managed your life well, so you have no regrets, right? So then you say, I lived a successful life, I lived a fulfilling life. So that is relative fulfillment. But still, if I were to live longer, yes, there are still some things I would still want to fulfill. Okay, I want to fulfill because uh, living a successful life does not mean I am completely fulfilled. I am some things have been fulfilled, a lot remains pending. So, since I have a short life, so I learned to let go of what I could not fulfill. I come to terms with that. Yes, this much I could not fulfill, but at least this much I could fulfill. So you're more like you're settling. You're settling for uh, the positive. So a lot of positive things I could get. There are a lot of regrets, but that does not matter. I have a short life, so I don't want to waste my life thinking about all those things. So I learned to let go. So when you let go your regrets, you let go your anger, especially when it comes to the last moments of your life. So you talk to a person who is dear to you and bring out all your feelings and talk about the hurts and all that. So just to bring it out. Once you talk about it, after that you feel a relief. So this is called a relative fulfillment. Right? Then you can die in peace. Absolute fulfillment is a sense of now uh, I have gained the most important thing in life, that is to settle with my own human nature. My human nature will, as a human being, I will always look for something different, something more. But as the as the Atma who is a witness of all this, there is nothing to settle. In fact, there is no ups and downs. There is regret has no meaning, anger has no meaning, because all this requires uh, a world of difference. In me, there is no world of difference. There is only oneness. So when I discover oneness, that knowledge gives me a sense of absolute fulfillment. This is what the Upanishad says. If you know one thing, you know everything. If you don't know this one thing, all that you know is never enough. So this is called the fulfilling knowledge. If there is one thing in this life that you can fulfill and say, my life is full, it would be this knowledge. Because every other knowledge is only this much, it is limited. Any other knowledge will give you some satisfaction, but a lot remains to be fulfilled. This is the only knowledge. Once you get this, you say that I can let go of all my regrets without any regret. I can let go of all my anger without any uh, issues. So anger is no longer an issue. Regret is no longer an issue. Even my attachment or detachment is no longer an issue. So I have no more issues in life. So that is what this knowledge gives you. It helps you to sort out all your issues. It does not actually sort out, but it gives you a wide angle view of your life in which you find issues are relative, you are absolute. Does it make sense? All your issues are relative, you are
Yes.
absolute. You are beyond all issues.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So for such a person, life becomes a walkover. Life becomes uh, a walk in the garden. So whatever issues are there, that is all by the way, by the way, by the way. The reality is what I am, and that reality is all the way. Issues are by the way. The reality is all the way. Therefore, there is no need for another lifetime because I have no more issues. That is called the sense of absolute fulfillment. Right? I cannot guarantee that you won't have a next life, but if you have the sense of fulfillment, there is no need for a next life. And for argument's sake, suppose for this person who has this knowledge, that person has another life. So again, it is by the way. So that next life is just uh, a bonus, I would say. It's just a bonus. So you got an extension. So if you have an extension, enjoy it. But there also, you are not tied down. You are not tied down. You are free. Okay. So this is what the life of a jnani is all about. So you have learned not to get detached, not to avoid attachment, but to go through life like the lotus leaf. It is untouched by the water. Okay, even though it is in muddy water, the lotus leaf is not touched by it. So similarly, this jnani, the person who has his knowledge, such a person flows through life. This is what the principle of Zen is. You flow through life without struggling in life. Learn to flow with the current. Do not struggle and become unhappy. Learn to accept and manage the current and flow along with it. Whatever life you have, good, bad, ugly. That is all part of creation. So accept creation for what it is. My sorrows are part of creation. My joys are part of creation. I am independent of creation. I am free from the limitations of creation. I am absolutely free. So this is the knowledge.
When you say I am free, is
Yeah.
it an,
Is there?
that is my question. Is it an I, is it a you?
Uh,
When you have achieved that fulfillment and
uh,
the body and
yeah,
the
yeah.
mind is not associated, is there an I? Is there an independent I? Is there an independent you? Because there is oneness. If there's oneness,
Yeah.
can there be I?
As long as you're alive, as long as you're alive, there is an I.
Ah,
Independent, separate. Okay. So that I is a reflection of the original. So when there is no more life, next life is not there for you, that reflection also is not there. So you as an independent I does not exist. You as a
mm,
separate I does not exist. So that is called your last
got
birth.
it.
In your last birth, there is no
Mm,
more appearance of I. There is only reality. Yeah. So when there is
yeah.
no I, then there is no other also, other than I. So this other than I depends on I. So as long as I am there, I recognize his world. When I am not there, who is to recognize the world? Correct. So both the world and I are part of appearance. When the appearance of I disappear, the appearance of
Mm,
world also disappears.
mm, mm,
So there is only Brahman.
mm.
That's Vedanta.
I love that. I love that last statement.
Yeah. There's only Brahman. I and the world. I is an appearance. The world also is an appearance. When I realize that all this is but appearance, so there is no need for me to continue the appearance. There is no ignorance to further this appearance. So
Mm,
when that I disappears, the world also disappears.
mhm.
Now you can say the world disappears for me, but for others the world is still there,
Yes,
right? See,
yes.
for others, if there is an other, then the same logic applies. As long as they are seeing this world, the world exists. Once they are fulfilled, then there is no more world.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So even the so-called world that is a common world for all of us, again is a relative world. So as long as there is an observer, there is a event.
Mm,
This again is what we talk about in modern physics. In modern physics, all events are meaningless if they are not connected to the observer.
mm,
So without the observer, there is no meaning to any event.
mhm.
So the event becomes real when the observer tracks the event.
Yes.
Okay, before this is what is talked about in quantum physics. The electron that you observe, so it exists at the time of your observation. Before and after, it is only existing as a probability. It is not existing as something real. It exists as a probability. What does it mean? It means it is both real and
Mm,
non-real. It
mhm.
exists and it does not exist. So in different ratio. So uh, within a particular area, it exists in a high probability. Outside that area, it exists as a very insignificant probability. So this electron that I observed just now, okay, so a second later it can be anywhere in the universe in different probabilities. A second before it could be anywhere in this universe again in different probabilities. But when I tracked that electron and I said that electron is here, that electron exists now for the moment. So this is what is quantum physics. Now it exists, but before and after it exists only as a probability. That means it is and it is not. This is exactly what Vedanta says. The whole of creation depends on the observer. As long as the observer is there is a creation. When the observer is gone, there is no more creation. So the individual I, the subject is gone, then there is no more object also. The subject, object are all, you can say, projection of one absolute reality. So that one absolute reality survives the creation, and that is your nature. You are the one who survived creation. You are not the one who is playing in creation. You are the one who survives creation. You are the absolute. Well, Indira has joined us. Welcome, Indira. We are having a question answer session. Anything else?
No, that was wonderful.
That's a lot of information. Good information. I mean,
Yeah.
I was really confused before.
Basically, the more you understand Vedanta, the more you gain that sense of freedom.
Yeah.
So, rootedness in this knowledge is important to enjoy that freedom fully. If you're not rooted in this knowledge, if you take this knowledge as theory, then it doesn't help you much. But if you take it as experiential, this knowledge is experiential. That means it has to do with your own life, it has to do with your own life experiences. So connect Vedanta to your own life experiences and verify what Vedanta says. Is it true? Does it apply to me or not? The more you keep doing that, the more it becomes experiential knowledge. Very fine.
Yeah. I really appreciated
Thank you,
today's discussion.
Acharya. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay, so shall we
Namaste.
close for today?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Namaste.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Thank you.